and crunchy cookie crisp. No, I'm kidding. That was a very low, laggy start. I don't know how we're going to drop these episodes. So it is currently January 19th. Welcome back to the, third episode?
Yeah, third episode.
Yeah, we started this in November. Or December, I don't remember.
I think it was November.
I think it was November. And then, obviously, holidays happened. And then, after the new year, I got sick as hell. And I was sick for 17 days. So we didn't make anything.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the movie Armageddon, which is a fucking banger of a movie. I don't know if we're going rated R this episode, but we might go PG-13. That's the one F-bomb. I don't know.
I don't know. It'll probably happen later on.
It'll probably happen later on. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I watched this thing over and over and over. Now, if anyone listening or watching is not familiar with Armageddon, please forgive my eyes because I'm going to be reading this guy. Let me switch out hands. Here we go. We can do it this way. All right. So, quick synopsis, according to Wikipedia. Armageddon came out in 1998. It is a science fiction disaster film produced and directed by Michael Bay. I just screwed that up. Well, no, that is what it says. Yeah, it does say. Okay, so, my bad, guys. Produced and directed by Michael Bay, also produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. The film follows a group of blue-collar deep core drillers sent by NASA to destroy a gigantic asteroid, which is the size of Texas, on a collision course with Earth. It stars an ensemble cast, including Bruce Willis, the motherfucking GOAT of late 80s and 90s action movies. Billy Bob Thornton, and he is having a hell of a run right now on Landman. I have not watched it, but I definitely need to. The rest of the cast rounds out with Liv Tyler, Ben Affleck, Will Patton, Peter Stormare. I'm so sorry, Peter, if I got your last name wrong. Keith David, Owen Wilson, William Fincher, and Steve Buscemi. And I'm so sorry, Steve, if I got your last name wrong. I think that's terrible at pronunciations. Yeah, I think so too. Yo, this cast is so...
For that time especially, yeah.
So good, and it's so just like character rich. Like there's no... Like obviously Bruce Willis is your leading man. Cool. But...
Everybody had their own... Yeah.
Yeah, like if, like, quote unquote, his merry men, like they're full of just character-y characters. Oh my God. And where they don't even list my boy in that thing. Let me go back down here. One of my favorite characters in this entire movie, there's two of them. Mm-hmm. First one, Michael Clark Duncan as Bear. Oh my God. When he's driving on the motorcycle and they're chasing after, he's like, oh yeah, go chase after Papa Bear. I was like, oh my God, I love this guy, dude. He's on that big ass Harley with the skull cap. I was like, oh God. And then when they're like in the doctor's office and like he rips off his gown, he's just dancing around in his thunder or whatever you fucking call it. Oh my God. And then Jason Isaacs as Ronald Quincy. Now, if you're not familiar with that, that is the super smart guy when they're like in the conference room trying to figure out how to do the thing. He's just like, well, your science advisor dude is wrong. Yeah. I'm right.
Yeah. I remember that part.
Yeah. So it was really funny because like he's playing a super pompous dude, right? Mm-hmm. And he brings that pompousness into The Patriot with Mel Gibson when he's the leader, when he's the leader of the British guys. And he was phenomenal in that movie too. But honestly, that's probably one of my favorite things about Armageddon is because it's just the cast.
Yeah, the cast.
It's so funny. You have Owen Wilson doing his just like, whoa, man, this is cool hero stuff. Yeah. Just doing that airy Texan thing that he does, and I just love it. Yeah. All right, so let's see. That was the cast. Production on this. I'm going to go through that. What were your thoughts on it so far when you saw it?
Well, me and you was always talking about I remember when it came out. I'm sure you remember when it came out too.
Yeah, I was 8.
Yeah, I was probably 12 or 13. I was in my teens. And Deep Impact was coming out around
It came out the same year.
Yeah.
Same year.
And so for me, it was, I haven't watched it in forever. And that's what we was always talking about. Hey, because you've watched it a lot. He was like, hey, when we do a review, you got to watch it. I was like, oh, yeah. So for me, it was rewatching it. And I really liked it. Mm-hmm. But I also, like, before we even started this episode, I said I do see why now. When you're older, you see it's kind of more cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I was like, oh, my God, big explosions and CG and stuff back then was, like, incredible.
It's literally the king of random, nonsensical explosions.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the very beginning, can we have a Charlton Heston narration for every movie ever made? I mean, I know the man is gone, and I love the guy, but, like, there's AI out there. We need to start doing that because he literally made this movie feel biblical with that voice.
And then even the titles.
That's what I'm talking about. They just explode.
Yeah.
It's like that episode of Family Guy where like the flaming carriage goes down the hill and the horses break off the carriage. The horse catches on fire and then the horse just goes, ooh, boom. Yeah. It makes literally no sense, but you love it.
And it hooks you from the very second. I think, like, when the titles... Sometimes when titles come in, like, when we did Ronin, what was that thing we would just watch?
Ronin?
Lord
of the Rings. Yeah.
That one kind of caught me coming in. Yeah, Rowan.
Yeah, War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That one kind of... Sometimes it's like when titles just come in, you're like, okay. It kind of hooked you from the very, very beginning. Mm-hmm. And I like that.
100%. Now, what's really interesting is... both movies came out at the same time, and I want to say someone. Now I have to go into the production notes on this because I could be wrong, but I think someone stole the idea from Deep Impact and made Armageddon.
See that, yeah, because they came out around the same time.
Yeah,
same whole catastrophe.
Mm-hmm. The same shit happened.
They gotta blow it up.
Like 15 years later with Skyline and. Battle L.A.
Okay, yeah.
Same thing happened. Yeah. And the Battle L.A. movie was way better than Skyline.
Oh, God, yeah.
So it was like Band of Brothers, but anyways.
Yeah.
All right, so production notes. The writer, producer notes everything the writer said during the script. Initiated as a counter film at Disney. 9 writers worked on the script. 5 are credited.
Almost didn't get credited.
I can't say a bunch of these people's names just because I can't pronounce them. But this one I can say. J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. That's really cool. Bruce Willis's cast is a 3-picture deal he cut with the studio to compensate them for the dissolution of 1997's Broadway Brawler. I've never seen Broadway Brawler.
I didn't know it existed.
Me either. And Sean Connery was initially considered for Bruce Willis's role, but obviously he didn't take it.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Ooh, this is interesting. Bradley Cooper auditioned for Ben Affleck's role.
He would have made a good, what was his character's name?
AJ?
AJ, yeah.
Yeah.
He made a good AJ.
I see it. I think Ben Affleck was a better choice for it. Because Bradley Cooper does like... Okay, so, for some reason... me thinking Bradley Cooper in the AJ role gives me Bradley Cooper in Wedding Crashers.
Oh, okay.
Gives me Wedding Crashers vibes for some reason. Just like that Yale Ivy League douchebag guy.
Yeah.
Like, not saying Bradley Cooper's a douchebag. He's a great actor. But that's what I see when I picture him in that movie. So I don't necessarily think that would be my bag.
No, if it would have been made, you probably would have been like, whoa.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is going to be sort of a weird review because you know how we always talk about how would you do this movie? Dude, there's nothing in this movie I would be like, oh, I think I would do it that way. There's nothing. To me, it's a banger. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, is it Academy Award winning? No. I would say it's definitely in one of my category that I made up, so I self-proclaim it. But terribly awesome.
I would say that. I really, yes. I mean, watching it again, I remember why I liked it. It's fun. Mm-hmm. The little rovers and stuff, they got a Gatling gun on it.
Oh, I know. It's like, that makes, you probably know this story. There is a YouTube clip out there of Ben Affleck literally asking Michael Bay, hey, wouldn't it just make more sense to teach the NASA guys how to drill instead of the NASA guys, teaching oil guys to be
astronauts?
Yeah. And you know what Michael Bay's response was? Shut the fuck up. It's a movie.
I can see that.
I love it.
Because it really would probably be the opposite. It would have been... Because they'd be like, we're not putting these damn cowboys in space.
No! And you know who is a perfect example of that? Steve Buscemi's character, Rockhound. Well, I just want to have some fun before I die.
Yeah. His character was my favorite from the very start. And they make him like a slime bag. It's like, I didn't know that girl. Maybe she showed me her ID. She was like 18. And I was just like, damn, they're pulling that. And when you're older, it's like when you're a kid, it just goes right over your head.
Right over your head.
Yeah. And when you're an adult, you're like, oh, man. Damn.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like chicks, they're coming down to the strip. It's like, so guys, I didn't want to say this, but I hate flying. So this is the end of the movie. This would be a shame to die now. And Rockhound goes, you think that sucks? I owe $150,000 to a loan shark, and I spent it all on a stripper named Candy. Oh man, that's bad. Oh God,
he was my favorite character.
Oh man, I think, you know what? I think Peter's character is probably my favorite. The Russian. Now I'm real Russian hero. I was like, oh my God. This is so many
good characters.
So many great characters. So many great lines. Like I'm just spewing them out right now because I know every line in this movie.
When you said that, it went to one thing I made a note about. I didn't bring it with me, but I'm glad you said that. It's when him and Liv Tyler are doing the little
the cranky down under and the pots. Yeah, that was terrible.
When I saw that, it went straight to Joe Dirt for me because when she says, what is it? I think she's the one that says it. She says, do you think anybody in the world right now is doing the same thing we're doing? And it went back to him going,
such a
do you think anybody's watching the same moon that we're? And I was like, damn, that's like straight up Joe Dirt right there.
Now this is going to be a tragedy, but I will admit to this. I have never seen Joe Dirt.
You've never seen Joe Dirt?
So your reference, I'm so sorry, but your reference right now, it's going up to the moon and over my head right now.
As a man who watches about every movie.
I know. Okay, so I watch every movie, but I also watch trailers, and I don't go off of Rotten Tomatoes. I don't go off any of that stuff. I gauge off of the trailer. So it's going to be the editor's fault if I don't watch a movie, and it's going to be the editor's fault if I go, fuck yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to watch this. And that was one of those trailers. I was just like, I like stupid, idiotic comedy, but for some reason that one's just too much for me.
It was.
Same thing with the Three Stooges remake.
Yeah.
I didn't
know they did that.
Oh yeah, it came out like 2012. I couldn't do it. I like stupid comedy, but like for some reason it's like it's past my threshold. I can't do it. Just can't do it.
Just when I saw that one part, I just busted out laughing. I was like, oh my God, man, that's like Joe Dirt stole that line later on from them. I was like, all right.
Now what was really funny is Liv Tyler's introduction on the oil rig.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis has that glove. Just picks up the brazier and Ben Affleck's like, that I can explain that. Oh yeah? I'm pretty sure you can. There's only one woman on this oil rig. You know who it is. You're about to die, boy. And it's all fun and games until you get shot in the leg.
Yeah, and then he cried about that, and he only kind of got he barely got grazed. But
no, he got a pellet in the leg. That's still getting shot. That still hurts.
I agree with you.
I mean, when you watch that scene, it's pretty deep and it's buckshot. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I would suck too.
I think it would. I think that I don't know. I think they tried to make his character. The thing that I hated about his character, him and Bruce Willis, was it's like at the end he's like, I love you, boy. You take care of her. But he really, really showed from the very first second he really didn't like him.
They did. So,
and I think it's just
I have this really weird thing. So, yes, it's terribly cheesy or terribly awesome. Yes, it's super cheesy. I have this thing where towards the end of the film, I actually get really emotional, and it happens to me every fucking time. Every time.
Yeah.
That scene gets me. Bruce Willis talking to Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
In the Armadillo. Even though her dialogue is just a little on the nose, but it's just the emotion that they're both bringing to it.
Yeah.
It
makes it real.
Exactly. It gets me every single time. Like, yes, they're characters, and I'm talking about all the wacky, funny lines and stupid shit that they do.
Yeah.
And how they treat each other, which is awful. You shoot who you consider your son in the leg.
Yeah.
They are a very dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
They're very motley, which is also the name of our podcast. We are the Motley Reviewers. We did not say that earlier today.
Motley. I was going to, and I kept thinking, I was like,
well, it's all good. This is like one of those TV show episodes where like they don't do the opening credits until like 20 minutes into the episode.
Yeah. We're about 17 minutes in, so it'd be like, we got to introduce it now.
There you go. Okay, so, this is what brings it back to me. So we're talking about the acting and the emotional depth of the characters. This movie was nominated and won like literally every Razzie that they've ever came up with.
And you told me that when we was talking about that. I had no clue when you was like, it was nominated for all the Razzies. I was like,
yep.
I had no clue.
Mm-hmm. You know? But it won a lot of MTV Movie Awards too.
Yeah,
so that was
a big thing at the time.
Yeah, and it
was a good movie.
Oh, yeah, and it has a banger of a soundtrack.
It does.
I don't want to close my eyes. I'm not going to do this any justice. I want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby. And I really suck at singing this song. But we will not get destroyed. We won't get sued by Aerosmith because I really suck at it. They're like, we're not going to sue this guy.
Let that guy just let him have that.
We're going to let the shaman ridicule. I can't even say that word. We're just going to let him shame himself when the episode airs because his singing is atrocious.
I thought it was good.
Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I also really wasn't trying, and I cannot match Steven Tyler. Okay, I'm going to stop justifying my terrible singing. Charlton Heston does a great narration, gives it that biblical vibe. The movie opens with a bunch of act. Oh, this is another thing I remember now. So I think this is where Michael Bay really solidified his like fast-cutting, showing you chaos in the moment film in the very beginning with the Hubble telescope scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the attack on the town almost.
No. I'm talking about in the very beginning. So like after we see the opening credits and the whatever explosion that doesn't mean anything. We're with the astronaut and I want to say it's the Hubble, but it could just be the International Space Station at this point. I don't remember. But he's
a satellite.
Yeah. Very correct. And he's just doing maintenance, and then a meteor shower comes in.
It just tears them all apart.
Oh, yeah, and destroys the shuttle. I think it was the shuttle Atlantis, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this is probably one... excuse me. I love this actor who I'm about to announce. This was I don't know if this was his first role ever, but this is the first thing I remember him in. First of all, great cinematography of New York City. And... my boy Eddie Griffin in the scene. Oh my God!
I was going to say
Little Ricky! Yeah. I'm coming again. I hope the dog's name is Little Ricky.
I think it was.
Okay, thank God. It would be terrible if I'm talking about the scene. Yeah, and I don't remember the damn dog's name. Ooh, okay, so you'll love this too. So when they're trying to analyze and figure out the thing about the asteroid, and he's doing all the quick cuts. The workers at JPL, or no, it was the Hubble satellite operators. My bad. One of them is Michael Bay.
Really?
Yes. When I rewatched, I was like, "Oh, that's him."
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. He cameos. Well, I started recognizing that he cameos in his movies, and so I mean, obviously he did it in Bad Boys 2, and I remember him doing it in another one. I want to say one of the Transformers, maybe.
I think so.
But I was like, I wonder if he does it in this one. And he did it in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fast cutting. And then, so like quick cuts, what's going on? And then we get introduced to Bruce Willis, and then they do a completely different like tone change.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I was that's got to be a metaphor for like capitalism versus green energy and progressivism. Him just chucking golf balls at these people on a boat.
Yeah. Even when the dude comes and it's like the dude's like Japanese.
Yeah.
She's got to interpret. And
yeah.
He's just sitting there. He's like everything. He's trying to not be like he's being a dick in a way.
He is being a dick,
but he knows the guy can't understand it, like his boss.
Yeah.
He's like, trying to have that smiley face, like yeah.
Grace, you can't quit now. I need you. Oh, there's so many great. Chick's wife, Will Patton's character, his wife, is also in Halloween Town.
Really?
She's the mom.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember a lot of stuff about this movie.
Especially when you watch it when you're older. You start, some of those guys like...
I didn't... It was going over my head. I didn't see it, and then I started recognizing it when I got older and rewatched it. So,
what do you think about that? Okay, this is...
Yeah, go for it.
Kid-wise versus adult, okay? When the mother's like, that's your daddy. When you're a kid, you're like, oh my God, he wants him to know. When you're older, you're like, she's a gold digger. That's what I got. She's like, hey, now you're going to be a big deal. You can probably get the book deals. You're going to be a celebrity. You save the fucking planet. Now I want him to know you. Now I want to be in your life. That's how I interpret it as an older person.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, buddy. I still took it very, very naive, very positive, very, very hopeful.
Yeah.
That she changed her mind because she saw him. He's changing. He's trying to do something worthwhile.
He saved the world.
He saved the world. Now, does that mean after this film that he goes down the same road? Quite possibly. We don't know that. There's no sequel to this.
Well, for the kid, I think
I'm talking about the father.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for him and the kid.
Yeah.
I think just from that part, it seemed like he wanted to try to, and she didn't want him around. And like he knew he's going to die anyway, so he would even be pushing getting arrested because at that point, they're going to get him out of jail.
True. So, and this is why I say that though, right?
Yeah.
So he goes up to the front porch. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to do a good thing," and like all that. Yeah. But she's still looking at him like, "I know you. Yeah. And we don't. They do not say this in the script. It's not written. However, how the characterization and the depth of their emotion is." He's done this before. Yeah. So she's calling his shit and being like, no, you can't keep coming up and doing this, essentially. And we also still see him at the craps table. Yeah. So we're not saying he's like an alcoholic or a drug addict, but what he is a gambling. No, he's a gambling addict. Yeah. That's what they very subtly say. Yeah. This chick is a gambling addict.
He'll throw away everything.
They all have their different vices. Yeah. They all do.
Like his was
Bear's a biker.
Yeah.
Now, you don't get to see what kind of biker stuff he does, but he's essentially, and they're all essentially outlaws. They're all
they're cowboys.
Exactly. So there's that. You already said Rockhound. He's a sleazeball. He is super. He'll anything in the world. Yeah. And he's super smart, but he's a slime ball.
And that's my favorite thing about him, because you don't realize he's smart until they miss the landing. And he's like, well, we missed it by, like 7.8 miles. Mm-hmm. And he's the dude sitting there looking at him. He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a genius. Yeah. And I was like,
I just do this because it's fun.
Yeah. And so you just sit there.
I get paid a lot of money.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, like, I love this character because he's this really smart guy that probably could have been like Wall Street or, a tech inventor or something, but he's off working on an oil rig, being the smartest guy there. And also, not just that, he's a slime ball,
It's very, and that's a really cool thing about this movie is because I think they realized they have a premise. It's a thing that I go back to with Taylor Sheridan. Plot-wise, very simple. Save the world, blow up the rock. Yeah. Now, what makes the movie fun is all the character development. Now, let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of character development in this, but it's how the actors play their parts and make all of their parts memorable. Yeah. Because every single actor makes their part memorable. Even like William Fincher, and I love William Fincher. He plays a great military, Colonel Sharp. Yeah. He plays a great military man. Mm-hmm. He plays a great, straight shooter, going straight for the punch, all that kind of stuff. He does a great job at it. Yeah. He essentially plays the same part. He's a little bit more personable, but in Black Hawk Down. Yeah. And
some people are built for
it.
roles too, though.
Yeah, it's true. But see, this is the thing. He also makes his character memorable, but in how that character is supposed to be.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Like everybody does. Even Jessica Stein, his co-pilot.
Okay, yeah.
That's the actress's name. I forgot the character name.
Yeah.
I remember her from a lot of stuff. Same thing. Like I remember her.
Yeah.
I even remember the other shuttle pilots. I don't remember the names, but I remember them for how they are.
Because it was very minor.
Yeah. And I would say for like big blockbuster movie acting, if you're just starting out or you're not a Ben Affleck or a Bruce Willis, where they give you a lot of scenes where you're a big name, like watch these guys.
Yeah.
Because let's say it, they're like 14, 15, 16 on the call sheet. They're not given a lot of material to do, to literally say.
Yeah.
But they're still killing their scenes.
Yeah, their scenes were very well planned out. Mm-hmm. They did a great job with it.
And even when you're like the big groups, when you're watching them and no one's really or someone's talking but not them, and you watch all the other people, they're still in character, still in the scene, still doing stuff. They're not just like standing there, just like, all right, well, I'm going to stay cool because the camera's focused on this person. I don't have to worry about it. No, they're still just being like stupid rednecks. You're still just not getting it. Why? Hey, why are they here? We should learn how. Bruce Willis, teach us how to do this stuff. And then Michael Bay walks over and says, "Fuck off. This is a movie. This is a movie."
The one thing I didn't get.
Yes.
About the damn rover things. It's like
the armadillos?
Yeah, the armadillos.
Armadillos?
They got the Gatling gun on the front. Mm-hmm. And then Homeboy's got that one.
It makes no sense.
I know.
I don't understand. I just want to have some fun before I die. Oh, yeah. Dude, my favorite. Yeah, he says, I just wanted to feel the power between my legs, brother.
And the dude, he's like,
get off the nuclear warhead.
And he's just sitting there riding it the whole time.
He's like, get up.
I like when they tied
the Lone Ranger with a nuclear warhead as a horsey.
Go bang. And it's like one of my favorite scenes was he's the crazy guy that really had no reason to come back, right? He already owed money.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. Why do you think he was doing all that shit?
Yeah.
He thought he was going to die.
He was like, we got the best spot ever, But my favorite scene was when they're all drawing straws and they're not going to let him even attempt to stay. It's like, we're not going to even let the one guy who would probably he probably let it hit the earth, realistically.
Probably.
I mean, that's probably why. But it's just, it's like he had nothing to lose,
Guys, I know you think I can't do it, but I would really like this responsibility. No, Rockhound.
For sure.
No. But when, literally, I'm not going to lie, literally when Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck go down in the airlock thing, and he rips out the air socket and throws him back in and give this to Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah. Make sure he gets it. Dude, that got me. It got me very emotional.
Yeah.
And even in the very end when they're doing the whole the wedding bit.
The wedding.
Yeah, in the credits.
Oh.
You didn't watch that part?
I did not watch that part.
He did not watch that part, folks. Oh my God. How? It's Aerosmith is playing. Oh, when you heard the song, it's like, oh, I don't like this song. I'm turning it off.
I was like, I've heard that song all through the night.
I've heard this song way too many times.
Also, I finished watching it was like 2:15 in the morning. So right when the credits went on, I went, boom. All right, I've done my homework.
Wow, guys.
Wow.
He's just not enjoying the movie. No, I'm kidding.
I liked every minute of it.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well,
tell us about the wedding, because I missed it. Now I get to relive it through you telling me. Oh.
Okay. That was my throw the can down moment, guys.
He's done. I
am done with this person. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So, well, I mean, there's no... They shoot it in like a camcorder thing. It's very music video like when you watch Michael Bay's music videos, or like even his it reminds me of his Victoria's Secret commercials that he shot.
Okay, like so very VHS.
Yes, okay. Very VHS. No talking. The Russian guy's there. He's like the best man.
Okay.
He's literally the best man.
All right.
And what's really cool is like everyone who has died in the film, they have a picture there like in the audience with everyone. So like
they're still family.
They're still there, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
And it just adds to the world.
Yeah.
There's so much world building in this film. That's amazing. And that's pretty much really it.
Did they do it at a real wedding place?
Yeah, they do it at a church.
Okay, for some reason I figured they did it at where the launch was. For some reason.
No, so you're remembering the scene. I think it's the Apollo 1 launch pad where Bruce Willis and Liv Tyler are talking. Yeah.
See, I thought that they was just going to do it somewhere there because it's where everything happens.
But what you said earlier about Colonel Willie Sharp, asking permission to shake the hand of the bravest man I've ever met.
Yeah.
That line still gets me.
Does it really? Yeah. I thought it was the cheesiest line of all time.
It's one of those lines where, yes, it's cheesy, but if you're invested in the film, and not don't
get me wrong, I liked it because it's built for that scene.
Yeah,
but I kept thinking when that happened, she was gonna slug him because he pulled a gun on her dad, and he's
she doesn't know that.
Oh, I guess you're right. Because we're the viewer, we see that.
Yes.
But she did see him, remember the audio thing went down, the video went down, but they could still hear them talking about...
Arguing and shit. Yeah, but she doesn't know he pulled a gun on him.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
You're right. I gotta give you that one.
Movie lawyered? Hashtag? I don't know, maybe.
I'm going to shake what is it, permission to shake the
Permission to shake the hand of the bravest man I've ever met. And, okay, so this is the thing, too. When it comes to, heroism, sacrifice, bravery, every single time I see that scene, I'm just like, man,
True sacrifice.
But if I was in that situation, could I do that?
Yeah.
And if I did do that, if I had a daughter, someone in that group who recognized that act that I did would want to go do that with my daughter. And that's
what makes it special for you.
It makes it a special moment.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
So that's a good moment for you. And the whole see, for me it's just cheesy. But you talking about it now, I do get it.
Yeah.
Because I forgot they didn't even know about the gun. So I thought she was gonna slug him. I was like, man, here it goes. She's gonna give him that, shake his hand, and then it's gonna be a left,
Well, it's two really great emotional moments. The first one is when Ben Affleck gives Billy Bob Thornton the patch.
Yeah.
And why is that important? Because Billy Bob Thornton used to be an astronaut.
He could never go.
But he could never go. And he
did they ever say, would he have polio, or did
I forgot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it was a medical condition and he could not go. And that was the one thing he's always wanted was a mission patch.
Yeah.
So that moment, and then boom, you get the bravest man line, and then the handshake, and it's just like, yeah. And then obviously they do the cheesy 90s, they kiss, and then that's the movie. And then we go to the wedding bit that you didn't see, but I'm just going to give you shit for it.
I was like, all right, and it's over, and
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
But man, I've seen it so many times, and I love that movie so much, and I get made fun of loving that movie so much, but I don't care.
I think it's a very watchable movie. If it was on TBS or something, that's one thing, you always talk about the rating system. If it's on, I'm going to leave it on. That's just me. Yeah. I think that's how, I would probably start rating things if I walk by and it's on TBS or it's on something and I'm, okay, not worth changing the channel. It's a good enough movie just to be sitting there doing it. Yeah.
I just think it's fantastic. Yeah. And I really love Armageddon, guys. The 8-year-old in me loves it. The 34-year-old in me loves it. You hear it because I'm quoting every line.
He's quoting every line.
I'm quoting the lines.
Oh, wait. Let's just play a little game.
Okay, go.
If you could be any character in that, which one would you be?
So, all right. So this might also give you a little insight into my personality.
Okay.
So, even though I am very somewhat immature, somewhat kiddie, as you have been seeing so far, I always gravitated towards the leading man.
Okay.
Regardless of age.
Okay.
And so when I told you in our earlier episodes, like I would imitate people in movies when I was first learning how to act.
Yeah.
I was learning from people in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
I wasn't learning from like kid actors watching kid TV shows.
Yeah. It was the adults.
Yeah.
And the leads.
Yeah.
So you'd be the Bruce. What was his
So I would have been Harry Stamper.
Harry Stamper.
So I would have played that character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I thought you was going to say AJ.
No, I mean, AJ is a good close second.
Yeah. Okay, good close second.
Yeah. But I mean, no, I would do that role. And that's why that moment when he makes the ultimate sacrifice, like, that's why it sits with me.
Yeah.
That's why he's saying goodbye to his daughter sits with me. That's why he's calling, not necessarily NASA, but the president in the United States government out on their shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the bomb is, like, the counter's going on because they don't trust them, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's calling them out on their shit. Like, that moment, like, pretty much a lot of his, like, more serious, like, moments and just calling them out, like, sit with me. Like, that moment sits with me. The, like, I love you some bit sits with me. The, like, pressing the button and seeing your life flash before your eyes moment. Like, just, you know, just, like, everything about that character.
Yeah.
Really sits with me.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Man. What was it? Is it Luke Wilson or was it Oren? Which one was in it? Cowboy.
It was a literal cowboy?
No, I'm saying the Wilson. Which Wilson?
Owen Wilson?
Oren. Okay, I always mix him and Luke up for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Name-wise, especially.
Yeah.
If I saw their face, it's like... But in my head, it's like, I know his face, and I'm like, is it Oren or is it Luke? I'd say probably him. Because he just seemed like the character that didn't give a shit. He was just like, hey, I'm here for... I forgot what his demands were. It was like something simple, like very like...
He didn't have demands. Now, my favorite demand ever was...
when he looks back, and that was my favorite one. And hold on, guys.
Yeah.
No, it's pay taxes.
They don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah. Ever again.
Like ever. That's how, like ever. That one, and then Michael Clark Duncan. The White House. Oh, yeah. He wants to stay in the Lincoln bedroom. So, you know, just things like that. Oh, hey, by the way, do you guys know who killed Kennedy?
And then they all just kind
of... like, no idea.
Yeah.
Just like the audacity and just the ridiculousness.
Just the crazy demands.
Yeah. Oh, Rockhound, beam me up, Scotty.
Just a little... I think he was probably my favorite character, and I'm not going to lie, if I had to live through his life, it would be interesting. It would, you know...
I think it would be sad. It's fun to watch.
Sad, but...
It's fun to watch, but like to actually live through, no.
Oh man,
no.
Be the smartest guy, and nobody ever knows you're the smartest guy.
Okay,
and cool. I think he's punishing himself too. That's why I think that his character is so strong because I think he's punished himself in a way because he's like, I'm so smart, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna act stupid. I mean, it's like if you
got to look at it from this way too. So. From an acting perspective, it would be fun to inhabit that guy's life for a
moment,
a few moments of his time.
Yeah.
But really think about it.
Yeah.
You're super smart. You're super capable. You probably got handed everything you got handed many opportunities just because you were so smart.
Yeah.
But you're a fuck up.
He is probably the biggest fuck up.
And
risk taker.
But you can tell he is a constant fuck up.
Yeah. But he's got the best confidence.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're always fucking up,
right.
That's probably not a good life.
That's why he didn't want to come back.
Exactly.
You know, I'm surprised they just didn't leave him there.
No, that's their buddy.
I know, but still, he wanted to go. Well, I mean, he could have blown up and at least, you know, maybe he would have entered into the atmosphere.
No. Well, they also mentioned he's like it's not space them. Well, it might have been called space dimension.
I think it was like space dimension.
Yeah. So like he's kind of fucked in the brain.
Yeah.
So no.
Like, no, I don't want to be him.
But no, back to your I think it would be fun to live in that guy's life. No, I don't think so. I mean, it would be cool to be as smart as he is, 100%. Yeah. But just because of his life choices, it's fun to watch. But no,
I like to see where they are. I like to see like a book or something where what happens to their life. I mean, I know they'll never do it, but it would be nice to see. Like, did AJ and did they stay together?
Well, you know what? Let's take a few of the characters and let's do that right now.
Okay.
All right. So, who's coming to mind right now is Colonel William Sharp. Okay. I'm thinking he gets out of NASA, goes back into the Air Force, and I'm gonna say he is Chief of Staff, or Keith David's character. I don't know if it's Chief of Staff. So he becomes a 3 or 4 star Air Force general. Okay, I'm gonna say that. Jessica Stein's his co-pilot. I'm gonna say she makes Colonel, maybe a Brigadier General, so a 1-star general.
Okay.
I would think Liv Tyler's character inherits Harry's business, and her and AJ are still running that business.
I can see that.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of the surviving team members are still working for them.
Yeah. I think this would be my take on that. I would say all the team members, because they just saved the world. Yeah. They're celebrities. So I don't think I think that AJ, I'm just looking at the times too.
Yeah.
AJ and Liv Tyler character, they get married because it's kind of still young love. So I'm going to go with maybe divorce. I'm going to be that guy.
Could be.
But I definitely think that because AJ, he still even tried to start his own company. So I think they got the oil company. They're all what is it? For All Mankind. That's
that
what
TV
I would
show.
say. Every one of them super celebrities in a way. Sharp, I think he would be. What was the character's name in that?
It was Sharp.
No, I'm saying
In For All Mankind.
Yeah,
I forgot his character name, but I know who the actor is.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like him and the girl pilot. They would be like the faces of not just NASA, but because they are the.
Well, actually, okay. So let me backtrack real fast because I have seen For All Mankind. I know what you're kind of getting at. So I will take what I said back about William, about Sharp and his co-pilot. They're probably still in NASA, but they're still active duty military. Yeah. So
they wouldn't give that up.
No. So they got promoted, and Sharp is probably head of the astronaut program, so he's probably at least a 1-star, maybe even a 2-star general.
Yeah.
Jessica Stein's character, I'm not entirely sure. I'm thinking she might be like his XO in the astronaut program, or maybe she's like a full board colonel, maybe not a 1-star brigadier general at this point, and doing more of the technical aspects of training the astronauts possibly.
Yeah.
But he's in charge of recruitment, overall training, and most importantly, placement on shuttles.
Yeah. I can see that.
So he's in charge of that.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
And super celebrity.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah. But so this is how can I put it? So if we're talking about For All Mankind with Armageddon, I see what you're saying, but with the characterization of both of those two people, yes, they're famous, but they don't want to be famous, and they're not like into it like how the one chick who in For All Mankind is the wife of an astronaut, becomes an astronaut and gets super famous and gets really into the famous aspect of it.
Yeah.
With her characterization, because she starts off as just essentially a Army wife, Navy wife, my bad, because they're all Navy. Well, they were Navy. That particular person was. and it's also set in the 60s. And women in the 60s, that was it.
Yeah,
you get married, that's your thing. And she discovers a career, empowerment, and all that stuff.
But also the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But astronauts anyway with celebrities. I mean.
Oh, yeah. No, they were. Yeah, 100%.
They got Corvettes, every one of them for real. I mean, that was just like.
Well, that was military money.
Was it?
It's military money. You also got to think about how expensive things were back then. Those cars weren't that expensive.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were to their equivalent.
Yeah, but not what they were worth today.
So, okay. So look at it this way. When I first got to my base, let me rephrase. I came back from deployment, and we got a new batch of soldiers in from basic training. Mm-hmm. One of them, I think he was E3, so he's private first class. So he had probably about 4,000 to 5,000 in the bank that he accumulated from just basic training.
Yeah,
and he went to a car lot and bought a brand new, at this point, 2015, 2016 V8 Mustang, all the bells and whistles, at like 11, 12% interest. Mm-hmm. So he's spending all of his money.
Yeah.
What do you think all those guys did in that show, and why they have all those really nice cars? They did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. So that's not endorsement money. That's just military money that's salary you're getting every 2 weeks.
I guess you're right. Plus, they were, they were the test pilots in a way.
They're cowboys. Test pilots are always cowboys. Even when 160th was flying me around, those dudes were cowboys. We did this, what we call a walk and shoot. So, like, we're walking up with live rounds. We're walking up the berms, shooting targets. Once those targets go down, we advance to the next one. Now, we're not running. When we're supposed to be running, but because we're using live ammunition, we're walking from berm to berm. Mm-hmm. And then as we were walking, these 160th pilots, they weren't using little birds. They were using Kiowas. They were using Kiowas. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like a little bird, but not really. Full armaments. No missiles, but they do have machine guns.
Yeah.
Anyways, I look up, and the dude's landing strut is like that far away from my head. They got that low and just went off. So 160th, those dudes are cowboys. Same thing with NASA. NASA test pilots, cowboys. Yeah. Cowboys, bro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I got one thing, and it just hit me. One thing I hated about, and it just bothered me from.
Yeah, no, go for it.
The whole world seeing these events happen, like the Philippines sees it, but the Americans are the only ones in space trying to take this thing out. For me, right when I saw that, when you're a kid, you're like, you're an American,
Yeah.
You don't think about anything else, that, growing up, I remember we had the best military, we had the best, we was in space, and, like watching it older, I was sitting there, I'm watching, I'm going, I think they would do a group effort. It's kind of like when COVID happened. The whole world came together in a way.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, it's like when they got to the Russian space station, I was like, this dude knows they're coming, but does he know what they're coming for?
No, he did.
But for me, I kept thinking, I was like, there's two chances for this thing to be blown up. And it's a movie. I'm just going to say
I got you.
Yeah. You would think that it would, if they would have wrote it a little bit different, like, it was a race to space, like the race to take this thing out. China, they can't get them in space.
It was a race. They had X amount of days to get
it there.
So it was a race. It was a race against the clock.
It would have been cool to see, like, maybe like the Russians are trying to get there, but they can't get off the ground, or they aren't thinking about the drillers.
So I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that would be like, this is the thing. I also, obviously, it's a movie made for American audiences, so you want it to be the Americans. And it's also in the 90s, so I also get that. Obviously, the Russians had a space program in the 90s. They still have a space program. Yeah. China, I'm pretty sure, has a space program now. I don't know if they had one in the 90s, so I don't know but that's my point. Is you're talking about a world collective thing going on.
It would be in there, at least Russia. Very least.
I don't know, especially now. I definitely didn't know when I was a kid, but I don't know how many actual countries have their own space programs, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still today. I mean, I know the Philippines, they ain't got no money for that. There's no way they would have it. Australia, they probably do not. I wouldn't.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. I just figured it would be kind of cool, like, just at least if it was more than like.
It would be cool. I mean, it would be interesting, but also.
I just think
editing and like you already have so much happening in this movie. I mean, do you really need to add that to it?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it like that. Like, okay, maybe there's only 2 spaceships that were built by Americans. Because I mean, we do have the top, especially Air Force military. So we'd probably have the best spaceships. But I guess if I could see it different. Some of the best Russians, because like the Russian dude, I think that I love this character more than most of them. I think it would have been cool to have like maybe some Americans, and then they say, like we're going in these, cowboys, it's going to be drilling. But now we got these Russians that are like fuel experts, or like one of them's a pilot that's going to be piloting the second ship.
That would have been cool. Make the cruise a little bit more international. Yeah. Now I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that would have been totally cool. I actually do like that idea.
Yeah.
But the character's name was Lev, the Russian.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lev, besides my "I'm now a real Russian hero" line, my favorite thing was, "This is how we fix things on Russian space station." He's just whacking the fucking console, and then it works. He goes, "See, now we can go home." And he just tosses the
It's just a surprise right when it starts working, like he didn't fuck it up. He's like, "No, we can go home."
Yeah.
But back then, I used to beat the shit out of TVs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's how you get those fuckers to work.
Those things were built for abuse back then.
Yeah. Oh, the transistors,
Oh, yeah.
I like how it was very calm, but it's like, "Let me get in there. Lady, you're doing this wrong. Let me get in there. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way." Damn. Hey, he gave you a chance, lady. You just didn't listen to him.
He's like,
I gotta use the manual and do. Yeah, that's going to take you 5 hours. Let me have this race. It's going to take me 30 seconds.
Yeah. This is how we do things in Russia.
How we do things in Mother Russia. Just beat the fuck out of it. Oh, God. That's going to get me canceled.
Beat the fuck. Russians.
Oh. You got any final thoughts on this?
I overall liked it. I'm glad that that's one of the things that you brought up to rewatch, because for me it was also memories. As you get older, I don't think a lot of younger guys know this, but sometimes songs and stuff, it pulls you back. You know, and you'll be rethinking. I think I was in middle school when that came out. 98. Yeah, 98. I was in middle school, so I started thinking like I'm watching it and I'm going back to the theater when it was cheap to go to the theater. It's not as super bad now, but we was outside playing, instead of, it was like going to the movies on Friday night or something was like the greatest thing in the world. So it brought me back to that. So I'm one of the things I'm really glad that you brought that to, I get there.
Good. Well, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
So next pick is yours.
Ooh, next pick is mine.
Next pick is yours.
I have to think about that.
Huh?
Well, we've been talking about 007.
We have been talking about 007.
But that can come later on because we don't want to pay for it either of us.
Yeah. So currently right now, we were going to do Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But right now we have to pay for it, which makes no sense because MGM is part of Amazon, but we still have to pay for it. I don't know.
I get it. I'm trying to think. I'll hit you with some ideas. Well, how about you? You got some suggestions you got to have. I'm trying to think of something I just watched recently, maybe.
I just watched, I watched Fall Guy, and that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a love letter to the stunt world.
Yeah. I actually need to watch that. So
and it's free on Amazon Prime.
It is.
That's amazing. I just finished American Primeval. I think that's how you say that.
I love American, that show.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I think my favorite part was the Indians. Yeah. We should do maybe that. Like
the whole show?
Yeah, why not like a summary of the show?
God, that'd be hard. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, over maybe 2 episodes, over 2 episodes.
Okay.
Because it's still fresh with me.
Yeah, I would have to go back to it. I just finished Lioness afterward too. So I have to go. Oh yeah, I love Lioness. Lioness is amazing.
That's
it's Taylor Sheridan.
That's what I thought.
It's on Paramount Plus.
It's a spy movie.
It's a spy show.
Spy show.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very fun.
Zoe Saldana?
Yes. Very sorry for not pronouncing your name right. But
pretty sure
I think you got it right. But I'm pretty sure you got that right. But just in case. Yeah. Okay, so we have not decided yet.
Wait till next week.
Well, do we want to surprise people? I don't think we want to surprise people. We want to tell them straight up.
Do Fall Guy. Yeah, we could do Fall Guy.
Yeah, I could watch that again. That was funny. That was fun.
Yeah.
So
I got a recommendation.
What?
Talking about men's shows. Bloodsport.
Dude.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. So if we're gonna do that, okay. So I've been thinking about proposing this to you for a while. I didn't know how far down the track we were gonna get till I proposed it, but I will propose it now.
Okay.
So there is a thing with machine guns that you do not know about. So every 5th round is a tracer.
Okay.
So you can actually see where the bullets are going.
Yeah.
So with that concept in mind, I was thinking every now and then we do a movie in my self-proclaimed bracket of terribly awesome movies.
Okay.
I don't, even though I said it earlier, Armageddon is a terribly awesome movie. I don't necessarily actually think it is. I just kind of said it off the cuff. But Bloodsport is 100% a terribly awesome movie. Not just movie. Now
I'll tell you, that is a movie for for Armageddon.
Yeah.
I grew up and Mike made us watch that at Thanksgiving every year. So I know that movie.
I still watch that.
Do you still watch that movie?
I still watch that. Well, what was that? There's like a digital channel. I think it's called Versus or something like that. They play that movie all the time.
Yeah.
Like I even have a double feature Blu-ray thing of Bloodsport and Time Cop.
Okay.
And I almost never watch Time Cop, and I always watch Bloodsport.
Yeah. So Bloodsport.
Okay, we're doing Bloodsport. 100%. I'm down for that. And what's really fun, we're going to go a little bit into Bloodsport right now. My favorite thing about Bloodsport is it's not only is it a terribly awesome movie, it's also a great 2 a.m. movie. Because the first time I watched that thing, it was TNT. I randomly woke up in the middle of the night, probably 1:30 to 3 in the morning, and it was on. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I watched it that early in the morning. Yeah. It's one of those few movies that's actually kind of fun to watch at 3 in the morning. I don't know why, but it is.
I loved it growing up. So.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'm glad that's old Brandon over there.
That's Brandon, our producer and tech genius.
That's right.
Behind the camera with that
banger
of
here
a
thinking
suggestion. I know, right?
What are we going to do? And he's like, I got this great idea. Bloodsport.
And we both go,
Bloodsport. Yeah.
Bloodsport. All right,
Frank Dukes.
What was it? What was it they had to say?
Oh, right. Like put up your dukes.